Welcome in, everyone. This is the Brussels Diamond League recap instant reaction show. I am Kevin. He is Gordon. FloTrack podcast at gmail.com is our email address. Thanks for tuning in to the show. If you're watching live on YouTube, feel free to drop a comment or question. We got an American record to talk about right off the top, Gordon. Some surprises, some upsets as well. But from the American perspective, this is all about your guy,
My guy?
Grant Fisher.
This is my guy?
Your guy. Well, he was Lincoln's guy for a while.
Okay.
Lincoln left this job, sadly, to become a tennis pro, famously in Texas. And I think he passed him on to you, and you've carried the torch. There's always got to be one person at this company beating the drum for Grant Fisher, and I think it's been you. So I'm going to give you credit here. You have been talking up his performances all year. Gets his fourth American record, and this one was the most impressive. Absolutely smashed it by 7 seconds. Almost wins the race. Gets second. Runs 12:46. Grant Fisher, take a bow.
Very impressive. He not only breaks a record, a lot of times American records in distance races, they're broken like kind of out of camera. Like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
they're coming along and the American record was broken because they can't really compete with the top tier at the international level. But Fisher was in it. I mean, obviously he comes up short there to Kiprop, but like 1246, that is a different
Mhm.
category from like a 1255. You
Mhm.
are starting to get into that world where not many men have entered, not just in America, but in the world. See Bernard Lagat, Grant Fisher, 1246. That was balls, man. I need a drink. I mean, Fisher, 3K, 5K, 10K, indoor 5K record.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about, what would you rather have, these four records or a medal? I mean, these four records are starting to become a little more fun in my mind. Like at first I was like, I'd rather have a
Yeah.
medal, but he's an American record holder in like everything. He's When we're gonna look at the list, it's just gonna say Fisher, Fisher, Fisher. He'll probably get the
Mhm.
indoor 3K record. Does he already
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
indoor 3K record? I'm not sure if he has it.
I don't think he still has that. I
So he just has to get
it
that, get the
used
indoor 2 mile, outdoor 2 mile, and then every long distance record will just be Grant Fisher.
he's going to be the combo of Legat and Rupp because remember there was that
Yeah.
winter where they were trading records back and forth. He's just going to get all those, and then outdoors now he has the 5 and the 10, and he's going to go into the next championship based on his championship performances from the past, but also based on these times as okay, this guy, the expectation is medal now because look at his PB. Before he was outrunning his PB. I mean, his outdoor PB before this was north of 13 minutes. Everybody focused on his indoor PB and knew he was capable of much more. But now it's, hey, can he get the medals to match up with the personal best? Because you run 12:46, you're right. You're in rarefied air. Did him get him the win in this race? Because Jacob Kropp's really good, and Jacob Kropp had an all-time performance of his own. But I don't think we should be that surprised because Fisher ran 12:53 in the winter. I know BU's fast, but he was nowhere near peak form. And now he enters a race beginning of September, gets in against a perfect field. This race played out perfectly if you're Grant Fisher. Commentators said at one point it was almost like they were all rabbiting for Grant Fisher. And he had someone basically take him all the way to the finish line. So this is a perfect setup. He took full advantage of it, the right time of the season, the right field. And that's how you get not just breaking Lagat's record, but completely smashing it in a similar way to how he took down the 10,000 meter record, not by a little bit, but by putting it into a completely different category, which is what Fisher did today.
So we look at the new all-time 5K list. Bernard Lagat, 1253 from 2011. Fisher obviously is now number one. Third is Chris Zielinski, 1255, 2010. Ritz,
Mhm.
1256. Jalimo, 1257. I mean, Galen Rupp is outside. It's like outside the top 10 now, I think. Yeah. No, he's still in the top 10 at 1258. Now, obviously, Lagat, Rupp, Jalimo, those guys have medals. Fisher has no medals.
Mhm.
How many medals would Fisher need to get in his young career for us to look back and be like, yeah, Fisher, greatest track distance male runner in U.S.
Mm,
history over a Legat Rupp? Because right now, what would you say the pecking order is? Is it still Legat Rupp, 1-2?
Lagat, yeah, yeah. Well, you're talking about just on the track, and you're just including pairing
Totality.
5 and 10,
Yeah, 5 and 10. 3K,
just five
5,
and
10.
ten.
3K is
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, he's gonna need at least one to enter that conversation. But Lagat, he got a lot of hardware there, and then you have his 1500 stuff as well too. So it's gonna be a while. But you're talking about young career. He's 25. He's in the peak of his career. He's been good for a while now. He broke 4 when he was in
It's
high
true.
school. And we've talked about this with Fisher before. As much as we talk about a lot of times the high school sub 4 runners who don't have great careers, the ones who do continue to improve, they're starting off from such a high point, right? Just phenom in any sport, right? If you're already
Yeah.
starting off with this level and then you continue to make progress. Now, he had some bumps in the road at Stanford. It wasn't this perfect trajectory, but you're seeing what happens when you have just this incredible talent combined with the ability to get better. And I think, yeah, he had some bumps in the road at Stanford, but also what was the main critique at Stanford? Wasn't always that they were holding him back too much.
Yeah.
You know this better than I do because you were covering him more on a day-to-day basis. But wasn't that normally the criticism of Fisher at that point?
Yeah, I mean, he was not doing indoor individual races much. He would just do like the DMR, 3K, wasn't really going much in the 5K indoors. Very rarely raced, didn't try to run fast times during the regular season outdoors, was just like, just get the qualifier and move on. Um, we didn't get to see like, he wasn't running the way like Chezarek was doing it, you know? Um,
Mhm, mhm.
Chezarek also sometimes did qualifiers, but Chezarek gave us fast miles and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, Fisher was kind of very muted his collegiate career. And Milt always said the reason why is because he wanted to set him up for having a long pro career.
yeah,
And clearly what Milt did worked because
yeah,
he's having literally the best like imagined pro career you could want. He's American record in 10, 5, 3, indoor 5,
yeah.
and on the verge of getting a medal.
Mhm. Yeah, he went from, okay, he's in this group of Americans to the top American threat pretty quickly, and then now to, all right, he's putting up all-time marks. Um, Justin in the chat says Grant needs 2 medals at least, one of them gold to be top American. So, high bar
He
still to
definitely
clear.
needs at least
Because
a
again,
gold. He's at
yeah,
least a gold.
yeah, which is hard, at least the gold. That's pretty high standard. Hey, you just need a gold
Yeah.
medal. It's not that tough. I also just want to mention Crop ran a hell of a race, man. From 3 laps out, he took on the lead. Like this would not have been possible without Crop doing his thing there. It reminded me of what Kajelka had did back in the day, when there was that crazy fast 5,000 in Brussels, I think in 2018 when I believe Borrega took it, where you just need that person to keep the pace going in that final mile, who is so confident in their fitness. And sometimes that person loses. Crop didn't. I just want to give credit to him. He had the 46 early this year, and now he runs a 45. He's proven himself legit guy. Earned the win though to run from that far out off of that fast of a pace. That's very hard to do.
Cole, if you go to the qualification standings on the 5K results right there, we have our official 10 that are going to be in the Diamond League final, provided no one scratches. But there's only one
Mhm.
American, Grant Fisher. You look at this field, do you think Fisher could win? Do you think Fisher could win the Diamond League final now? I mean, obviously Crop is in there and he beat him, but
Me
you know,
just lost by a second. Yes, he can win. Yeah, he can win the Diamond League final. Let's read the
that
names
would be
though. You
wild.
have Indika Mwanu, Kip Career, Borrega, Crop, Lobalu, who ran really well today, Aragawi, Tefera, Fisher, Bekele, and then Getnet Wally. And the first one out is Mohamed, and then Stuart McSwain is right behind him. Yeah, he can win. I think that one will be not as quick, but he can close. He can run fast. There's no reason he can't. I think this what happens? He's proven himself now. He was
Yeah.
really close to getting medals at Worlds, and then he's gotten 4 American records this year, and he almost won a Diamond League race that was run in a ridiculously fast time. He's proven himself. The next thing you want to see from Fisher, the next step, he's moved to the spot where the only thing that matters, World Championships and Olympics. That's what you want to see. That's the thing that's missing. And he's got an opportunity in 23, 24, 25. Like those are the main, these 3 years are key for him because because he's right in the mid 20s. There's no guarantee that he's going to have the longevity of a Bernard Lagat. There's no guarantees he's going to have a longevity of Galen Rupp or the ability to move with the marathon. You just don't know. You run 12:46, you're thinking medals, and you're thinking medals right
Yeah.
away.
He's got 6 opportunities: 5K, 10K, and all 3 championships. And so this guy just
Yeah.
go 2-4. That's a good record, right? Get 2 medals, 4 top 5 finishes. I don't know. I mean, maybe he goes 3
Yeah.
and 3. We'll see.
If he gets if he medals twice out of there, I think it's huge. If he goes
Yeah.
2 for 6, that's big. If he gets 1 gold, that's huge. Again, we're comparing it. We're used to the medals now. If you're an American, you're used to Chalimo seeing him get medals. You saw Galen Rupp. You seen Bernard Lagat. You go into the women's side of things. You see the medal in the get gold and silver in a steeple. You see the 10,000 medals that they come up with. You see Jenny Simpson medal, Matthew Centrowitz medal. Like there's medals all over the place for Evan Jager for the U.S. Fisher has a chance to join that group, and in addition to that, he's got the records, and that's the 2 parts of the career that normally people that plus longevity, 3 parts, I guess, that people normally use to evaluate um, someone's career. So yeah, fun race, exciting race. They got after it out there. It lived up to the billing.
What was the second headline you had for Brussels?
Second headline: upsets, 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 upsets. Shelly Fraser Price, undefeated in the 100 this season, gets beat by Sharika Jackson by 1/100th, 1073 to 1074. Fraser Price got out well. Jackson caught her towards the end. You thought Jackson would close on her because of that 200-meter ability. But I look at the time that Jackson ran. I look at the time that Toulouse ran. I look at the times of this whole field. And I just feel like the conditions were there to run a quick time. Shelly Fraser Price has only run 10.6 this year, basically. What's the one difference that we know? She picked up that injury. She picked up that injury in Lausanne, didn't run in Lausanne, and then here we are. Now, it's not to make excuses for the performance. Sharika Jackson earned it, but if there's ever been a time in track and field history when you can compare a time to a benchmark, it's Shelly Ann Fraser Price in the 100 in 2022. We know that she can run 10.6. So I just feel like something happened. It clearly wasn't a catastrophic injury, wasn't a major injury, but it was enough to slow her maybe a tenth of a second, maybe 5/100ths of a second or something. And that's obviously enough to get the victory because I look at everybody else's times and I think, okay, those all make sense. The only difference here is Fraser Price, a little bit banged up, probably cost her a little bit. So congrats to Jackson. That's her first win over Fraser Price in the 100, and surprising to see Fraser Price get a loss.
I'm kind of worried. I feel like we're not going to get the 10-5 from Shelly Ann this year,
Yeah, I think that's going to be tough now.
right? It's kind of a bummer. We felt like it was coming. She was doing 10-6, 10-6, 10-6, 10-6. You're like, all right, it's bound to just crack through. She went 10-62, so close. And I don't know. It's like weird. We kind of created such high expectations for Shelly Ann,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
doing it at age 35. It's incredible. She was undefeated. And, at the end of the day, this is kind of like sure, upsets are cool. And Sharika is a great runner, the 200 champion.
yeah.
But, we kind of wanted to see like history and some dominance here. And this kind of seeing this first loss has a little bit of like a disappointing feeling.
hmm So someone mentioned in the chat in the pre-race press conference, there was an exchange between Mondo Duplantis and Shelly and Fraser Price about racing next year over 100. They both end up losing. Is this a curse of a hypothetical 100 in 2023 Brussels that happened here?
You could argue they were just too busy thinking about each other in
Yeah.
this hypothetical race and not their own competition, and both got nipped at the line. I mean, Mondo lost. I don't even know who he lost to. Forget his guy's name,
Albania.
but
Albania.
Obena.
Yeah.
He I mean, it wasn't like Obena vaulted out of his mind. It took 591 for him to
Yeah.
win. Like, it's
Yeah.
not that. I mean, Mondo can open his height at 591, but Mondo missed his second attempt at 561. So clearly something was going on. And then just wasn't even able to get 591. It's a good reminder that these athletes are human, as great as they are. I keep on saying, like, Mondo will never lose again. It's like
Yeah.
everything is just, all competitions are just, what's the word? Um, Formalities when it comes to Mondo
Mhm.
because of how great he is. But hey,
Yeah.
the greats
It
lose.
was it
So
was funny on the broadcast. It was, I think, it might have been Hutchings said something like, and this is his first loss since 2021. I think they expected it to be longer. Like they the way they said it, it was if someone showed them a piece of paper or had a stat, and they were anticipating it was going to be something much more a much longer streak, much bigger sign of dominance. It was like since 2021, and was it Lausanne? He got like third or fourth or something. Yeah, he got fourth in Lausanne, cleared 562. Yeah, we forget how variable the pole vault is because Mondo's been so good, right?
yeah,
Lots can go wrong with the pole vault. You forecast the NCAA meet every year. You know how unpredictable. I mean, Mondo lost the NCAA meet. He didn't win
yeah,
the NCAA championship. Lost to Chris Nilsson that year. So yeah, I just I love the exchange though between Duplantis and Fraser Price. I don't think Fraser Price knew that Mondo had run that, was it 10:57 in high school. I don't think she knew that he had that level of speed, and I think there's every reason to believe he's faster now. So I would give the edge to Mondo over 100. I think 60 would be fun. Uh, and this is one of those rare, like, hypothetical races. Like, I never think any of these things are gonna happen. They're fun to talk about. But this is one of the rare ones that I could see happening just because I feel like Mondo's like a competitive guy and he wins so much in the pole vault is not gonna hurt his pride at all if he loses.
yeah. But would it though? I guess I don't know. Maybe it would. I don't know. But like, would it hurt
He just
Shelly Ann's
he seems
pride?
like
I don't know.
no,
If he
no, no,
lost
of
to
course not.
Mondo.
Of course not. He's an incredible, like, world-class athlete who does a lot of sprinting.
True.
Sprinting is a prerequisite for being good at the pole vault, and he's the greatest pole vaulter out there. And we know he's run his PB is faster than her PB, and that his PB was set when he was in high school. So every reason to believe he'd win it. He just seemed good natured when he was having that back and forth. And again, he'd probably be up for a new challenge. Now, I thought that before he lost to Obena, so maybe 2023 for Mondo is all about just getting revenge on Obena, and he's going to enter every single competition Obena does and just try to
Follow him
beat him
everywhere.
over and over. Yeah. So all the fun is over. Fun is off. We are not going to have any fun in 2023 if you're Mondo. It's just about complete revenge. That's all he's fixated on. Back
Back
to the
to
women's 100.
the women's 100. The
Yeah.
Diamond League finals now set, assuming everyone accepts. And you get the three Jamaicans, Toulouse, Hobbs, two British athletes, Nita and Asher Smith, and Twanisha Terry. Sha'Carri
Yeah.
Richardson, first one out. They're in ninth. Do you think any of those athletes will scratch?
Yeah. I have no idea who, but just you look at recent Diamond League finals, someone will scratch. I think I'd be very surprised if all of them ended up getting in there.
What do you think of Sha'Carri's performance in the race?
I mean, it's right along lines of what I thought she would. Didn't we say fourth or fifth? And then you look at who she lost to and then who she beat, and you line it up with what she did in Luzerne. It matches up because she barely beat
Yeah.
Elaine Thompson Hurrah. You put Elaine Thompson Hurrah in this race based on how she's been running post world championships. Well, she knows she was behind Jackson and Fraser Price. So it makes sense to where she's at. Again, not it's not on like not crazy fast, not crazy slow. It's right there in the middle. So people are probably gonna have trouble processing that because they only want to think in those two terms. But 1093, just behind Leah Hobbs, right? I mean,
Yeah. Le-
not a bad result, but not obviously not getting in the mix for the win here.
Yeah. No, and I
What do you
don't think
think?
I didn't think she was in the mix ever for the win because Jackson and Fraser Price are very different from Thompson Hurrah in 2022. But, I thought she had a chance to maybe surprise and like get third, but the finish that she ended up giving us was right behind Hobbs is like, okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Also, she doesn't lean much, especially when she's not like she didn't really
Well,
lean when in the first when she raced Elaine Thompson Hurrah. And then in this finish, she
mhm.
didn't lean either. She's like kind of not leaning, which is kind of weird.
Well,
She's
neither
kind of like,
Jackson doesn't lean a ton either. And I rewatched the video a couple times, and this photo is a little bit, if you're watching the feed, or you just pull up the photo finish feed at home, it's a little deceptive because she's like, I'm talking about Jackson now, is standing like straight up, and like Fraser Price and Toulouse are diving towards the line. I watched it. She does do a little bit of a dip, but yeah, she's not like a big leaner. And yeah, Richardson's like completely straight up there too. So still, it was it was three people in a group for that top spot. Then there was a little bit of a gap between the next two, and then they were comfortably ahead of the next pack, which is right where you'd think that she would be. And yeah, so I'm not surprised. I guess the only thing I'm surprised about is that it wasn't a big performance in one direction or the other. But um, I think she'll get to run the Diamond League final. That's my prediction. I think someone will drop out and she'll get in there. If she got one more point, she would have tied with Terry and Asher. Oh no, and then one would. So if she got fourth instead of fifth, she would have had enough points to tie with Tanisha Terry. I think tiebreaker is highest Diamond League finish. So you'd have to go and look in whether or not she would get it, but she just missed out on it. All right, Mondo talked about that. Let's see, 100. Area Knighton wins the
I
200.
mean,
Big headwind, minus 2.9. Runs 20.0. His first Diamond League win. Vito Gondo, he's been running well this year. Fanbele way back there in sixth. I think his season's just been a long season for Joseph
yeah, and
Fanbele.
I
He's just been
know
giving
like
for a
a
long
win
time.
is a win, a Diamond League win is impressive no matter what the time is. But when you're seeing a regular season and a postseason with 19 threes and 19 fours and fives and sixes and a bunch of sub 20s to see like a 20:07 on the clock, you're kind of like, eh, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
a little bit of a snooze. Again,
No,
a win is a win, but you know, kind of really don't get much out of this performance.
negative 2.9 is no joke. But I think what this underscores is it's Lyles and everybody else. There's separation between Lyles and everyone else. For a while, it
Yeah,
was Lyles, Knighton, Knighton, Lyles. I mean, I had Knighton number one for a while because he ran 1949. It was looking great. Lyles got that back at USA's, but remember the margin wasn't that big at USA's, right? Got him
yeah,
right before the line, did the point, and that was it. But then ever since then, the margin is just increase and increase and increase. So you see Knighton winning, which makes sense, but you have to figure, okay, if Noah Lyles in that race, the margin would have been pretty big. Now, if you throw other people in there, like a Michael Norman, Bednarik, if you throw in a healthy Fred Curley, then you're going to have some some other folks that can mix it up there. But it just feels like Lyles is well clear of everybody else right now in the 200. And there's
yeah,
we're gonna have to wait till next season for him to either slow down or somebody else to take it up a level because it feels as if Knighton's going to need to be in that actual like he's going to need to run 1949 again to challenge Noah Lyles the way at a
yeah.
championship the way Lyles has been running. That's how it feels. So he has to recreate that magic from Baton Rouge.
Speaking of Lyles,
Uh,
Lyles is entered to run the 100 at the Berlin Continental Tour live on FloTrack in 2 days. So on Sunday. So be interesting to see what he runs in 100 meters.
Warholm will
Lyles
be
didn't run
there.
the 100 much. So
Yeah, Warholm will also be in that meet, and Toby Amason's going to be in that meet too. Is that
yeah,
correct?
and Holloway.
Yeah, and Grant Holloway going to try to get back on the winning track. All right.
Women's
Women's,
15.
let's see. Yeah, let's just keep going down this order that I have on here. Women's 15, Kira McKeon of Ireland pulls off the upset. Her PB was 4 flat going into this competition. Runs 356. Shout out to our friend and multiple time FloTrack podcast guest host, Cathal Dennehy of Ireland. Big one for Ireland. 356. She ran away with this thing. Muir started to make a comeback in the final meters, but just left it too late there. Watelji had a big lead that shrunk. It was a pretty dramatic race, but McGeehan to drop that much time off your personal best to go from 4 to 356 against a field like this is just, I mean, that's just remarkable. Gets the Irish
How
record.
many women have broken 4 in the 1500 this year? I feel like it's an abnormal high amount.
Well, in this race alone, you had, let's see, how many do we have? It's 7, and obviously not all the best people were there. So 7 in this one. McGeehan, Muir, Hailu, Watelji, McLean, Cranny, and Nanyando all went sub 4.
Yeah, they haven't updated it, but there were 14 before this race.
Yeah.
I'm sure you added a bunch more to that list. That's deep. I mean, how many were there last year? Let me see how many people broke 4 last year. Okay, only 14 broke last year, but 14 plus all the extra ones that broke 4 in this race.
Mhm.
There's probably another 1 or 2 that are going to break 4. Breaking
Yeah.
4 is now going to become the news. Before, it was always like you were in that elite section when you're like sub 403. But
Mhm.
now, like, even at the US level, like seeing Heather McLean run 358, she didn't even make the team. She's running
Yeah.
358. That's very impressive.
Well, it's also weird because you have the person at the top running 350, which is,
Yeah,
10 seconds ahead of that group. So
that's true.
there's also just this big variation of, okay, yeah, to be in the top 15, you got to be sub 4. But to contend to win, you have to run 10 seconds faster.
Yeah.
That's just a lot.
Like
That's a
the
lot of time.
very separate tiers. Very separate
Yeah.
tiers.
You'll only be 70 meters behind if you run that time. Yeah, this one
All
was
right.
at least kind of more compact.
Yeah.
It was 356 was the winning time, not 352 or something like that.
Who's your women's 1500 Team USA team for 2023?
I mean, McLean's been tearing it up. Cranny, I think, is going to run the longer stuff. McGee's running pretty well. Sinclair Johnson ran
So
well.
this year's
Courier's
team was
there.
Johnson, Courier, and McGee. Do you take any of them off and put in McLean?
Yeah, but how do you decide?
I know,
That's the
right?
question.
How do you decide?
Um, Let me look at this whole list. Hold on. McLean, Johnson, Cranny, St. Pierre, McGee, Schweizer. Herda is at 401. The next fastest is 403. Yeah, as much as I'd like to say it's a 1500, anything can happen. All these people running sub 4, and it's getting not as tactical. Yeah, I think it's between those 4 because I don't think Cranny or Schweizer would run it. They'd more concentrate on the other stuff. Maybe Herda would run it, so maybe between those 5, Herda, St. Pierre, Johnson, McLean, and McGee. Um,
Yeah, it's between
I'm
4.
gonna
Who are your 3 of the 4?
No, I think it's 5. I'm not gonna count out Herda. I'm throwing
Okay,
Herda in
don't
there.
count on her because she is the Kate Grace of this era.
Some people have
Um,
said she could be the next Kate Grace. I think St. Pierre's gonna have a bounce back year, so I'll take her. I'll take McLean, and I'll take Johnson.
Cora
Did
McGee's
you
going
have
to hear
a?
that. She's going to
Did you have a? Did you have
hold
a
this
pick?
over you for a whole year when she makes the team 2023. Be like, oh, Kevin, really?
You're
I'm not
asking
making
me
the
to make
team?
a pick. You're asking me to make a pick in September about something that's going to happen in next June. I might be wrong on that. It will not be the first time. I can't
Fair
even make
enough.
predictions in June about what's going to happen in June. Men's 800, your favorite event, my favorite event, the world's favorite event this year. Listen, Jake Whiteman, We get it. We get it. You're better than everybody in the 800. Please come back to the 1500 now. You've proved everything you need to prove. You ran 143.6. You did the same move you did in Eugene in the 1500, except you did it in 800, which was cool, right? 800 to go or 200 to go. He just shoots to the front of the lead and then opens up this big gap. And he beats a legit field of medalists from world championships. Sajati, Career, they're all in there. Marco Arop, like the whole gang was there. And you beat them all. Please come back to the 1500. I want to see you race Jakob Ingebrigtsen. I know we made jokes before. We said, hey, come on, everybody wants to see the rematch. And I said, I didn't blame you. I said, if I was you, I'd be on a boat in the Mediterranean, not even running. But you decided to go in a different route. You were not motivated by that. And I respect that about you. So I'm going to use another tactic. And the tactic is we accept your dominance in the 800. We appreciate your dominance in the 800. You've proven everything you need to prove. Correct? We can move. You've graduated out of this event for 2022. We move on. Please just run one 1500 against Jakob this year. And there's like one more chance.
Kevin, I think he might.
Basically,
I think he might run the 800 Diamond League final.
Please,
and skip the
that's why
1500.
I'm speaking directly to the camera. I hope this gets back to him. If anybody knows Jake Whiteman, please send this to him. I know you're qualified in both. Please, in the Diamond League final, race the 1500 against Jakob Ingebrigtsen. We all want to see it. And again, you don't have anything else to prove in the 800. You're a dual threat, 800, 1500. You can do it all. We want to see the rematch. Please, Jake.
I mean, I don't disagree. I think it's, but I have a feeling he's gonna disappoint us and just do the 800. He'll win the 800. He'll have a bye in both the 8 and the 15. Maybe he'll just retire from the 1500. Maybe he'll never race him. Maybe he's like, I'm going to become an 800 meter runner.
I would appreciate
because he could go on and win worlds in the 8 and be like 15, 2022, 800, 2023, and then he goes back, whatever. Just he'll just ruin Jakob Ingebrigtsen's world because you'd be like, I'll never let you race me again because I'm too good.
Yeah.
I can just do the 800 and you'll never
torment him.
I mean,
never
he's
get
torturing Jakob right now. This is like a way to torture Jakob even more. Not only did you beat him, but you refuse to give him a rematch. That's torture.
This is they're on the schoolyard. Next point wins. Oh, I won. See ya. Never going to play you again.
Over.
That counts. People have brought this up before. David brings it up here. Again, that he had his schedule set before at the beginning of the season. I understand that. I appreciate that he was going to run the 15, the 8. But things change. Things change. He's much more of a high-profile runner now than he was before he crossed the finish line first in Eugene. And as a sport, we all want to see it. Now, David also brings up maybe he's going after that 800 bye.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty cool.
Dustin
brings up the 800 needs him. 1500 is stacked already and everyone wants him to do it. So for the perspective, like if I was the 800 meter advocate, of course I would want to see him in the 800 because the 800 does need a little bit of a boost this year. But as looking at track as a whole, we want to see him race Jakob Ingebrigtsen. So please run the 1500 final in the.
What if Jakob is like, all right, you won't come to me, I'll come to you. And then all of a sudden we're watching him run the 800 in Budapest against each other.
Yeah. That's not fair. That's not what we want to see. That's not what we want to see.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Oh, no. Producer Colt. No.
Okay, so read the quote. The quote says, I'm running the 800 as well and then a road mile in New York to finish off this long season. After that, I'll take a week or 3 off to spend time with family. It's been one championship after another, so I'm looking forward to take some time and reflect on this amazing season, a.k.a. he's not going to race Jakob Ingebrigtsen for another whole year. I mean, will Jakob enter the New Balance road mile? Well, that doesn't count, though.
The New York Road Mile.
in New York.
I don't think he's gonna fly all the way over there. It's not what I
Yeah.
want to see.
So
Man,
yeah, he's not going to run the 15
this
diamond.
is in the flat. We're reading the flash quotes from after the meet that are on the Diamond League website. It says in Zurich, I'm running the 800 as well.
Yep. 800 diamond league. He's going to win it too. He's more likely to win the 800 diamond league final than the
Of
1500
course
diamond
he's
league final. So
yes, of course he's going to
I
win the
mean,
800
he's going to choose the
Diamond
one
League
he's going to
final.
win. So
Again, and I don't blame him for that. Let me be clear. Again, if he never raced, I wouldn't blame him. If he only raced 800, I won't blame him. And I'm not going to blame him now for doing it. I'm just saying all of us want to see it. And I'm speaking from the perspective of all of track and field. We have one more meet left. We want to get the best matchups possible. We want to see Jakob versus Jake.
I need Jakob to come out and like say a quote being like, I need there to start being public beef. That's what
Yeah.
I need.
Well, someone needs to ask Jakob in Zurich what he thinks.
Yeah.
That's what someone needs to ask. Like, is it disappointing? It's not even like a gotcha question. And you know what Ingebrigtsen's probably going to say, but at least give him the opportunity. You didn't get to race him. You didn't get to
And
race
there
him
would have
post
been
Olympic
what?
or post World
Three
Champs.
legit there would have been what? Three legit opportunities, right? Europeans, the Monaco, whatever
No,
what
Monaco.
1500
They did the
Not
1,000.
Monaco.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the one that
No,
Jakob ran?
Lausanne, right?
Lausanne. So
Yeah.
Europeans, Lausanne, and the Diamond League final. Those were three
Yeah.
opportunities. And Jake was like, I'm good.
Well, and you know what Jakob could say is last year after he won the Olympics, he kept going because Chariot beat him. Now he beat Chariot at Pre, but then at the Diamond League final, like he served up the opportunity for Chariot to get a little bit of revenge.
Yeah.
I could be
We'll see.
mistaken, but wasn't there already some beef thrown? Like right after that race that Whiteman lost, didn't Jakob say something along the lines of like, the best guy didn't win today or something? I remember that.
No, he threw himself under the bus. He said, you talking about the 1500 in Eugene?
Yeah.
He said, what was the quote? How could someone be so good and also so bad about himself? The 5,000 is where he started talking trash. 5,000, he said, I didn't want it to come down to a sprint finish because I'm basically the best. And I want to show everybody I'm the best. But that was so that wasn't directed towards Whiteman. I don't know.
What are we
No one
going to
else
see
is upset
first?
about this. Like,
What are we going to
why
see
are
first?
not more like? I don't.
Are we going to see
Like, people are
Shelly-Ann race
disappointed about this.
Mondo? What race is going to happen first? Shelly-Ann versus Mondo or Jake versus Jakob? What are the odds?
We'll see it next year. It's gonna happen.
I mean, we could not.
It has importance now. It has salience now, and that's my main problem with this. Is people think this stuff lasts forever, and it doesn't. And you got to capitalize on it when it is is important. Like rivalries in sports are fleeting. There's some that last forever, right? You're always going to want to see Yankees, Red Sox, Duke, North Carolina, Manchester United versus Manchester City. I'm out of my depths here talking soccer, but the folks overseas know what I'm talking about. They both have Manchester in their name. I'm assuming they're rivals, but like, I go back to a quote a long time ago when Bolt and Blake weren't racing each other, and manager, agent, someone said, "Oh, this is actually a good thing because it builds up the suspense for when they do compete against each other." And I just think that that's completely wrong. And then what ended up happening? They didn't race each other that much, and we
All
missed
starts
opportunities to
getting
see the two
hurt,
best.
different things.
Yeah, exactly. People got hurt. Bolt retires, and then we missed out on a couple of years of when we could have had them go at each other 3, 4, 5 times a year because we were going to build some. There's already going to be suspense for the Olympics, the World Championships, right? There's always going to be that. All right, producer Colt dug up a quote. Um, this is from Worlds. Quote, Jake Whiteman's a great guy and I have a lot of respect for him, but I'm mostly feeling that I didn't do my best. I mean, that's not trash talk. That's just him being honest. Right? That's not like you gotta really you
How
think that's
could it
trash
be
talk,
like
Cole?
Jake Whiteman is a bad guy and I have no respect for him?
That'd be crazy. That'd be real beef.
First of all, great memory, Colt. I don't know how you thought of this.
It's tucked away somewhere in there. This? I have no idea. Just came up.
We didn't even talk about this we talked about it after the 5,000, him talking trash. We didn't talk about it after the 15. I mean, I don't feel like it's I don't feel like that's trash talk.
We're not going to see it, man.
That I didn't do my best.
How are we going to fill this void? What are you going to do to fill the Jake versus Jakob void that we're not going to get in 2022? What should we do?
There's no other. The only other rematch I would want to see, or head-to-head that I really want to see, is Warholm versus Dos Santos, and I'm not getting that either.
No, that's I meant the only other one. Track, just in life, man. Like, are you?
Oh, in my life? Yeah, I don't know.
Go on a hike or something. Go see a see something.
I'm gonna start coaching next week. My daughter's 6U soccer team. I'm gonna put all my energy and fury into that because that's how you should coach 5-year-olds.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, be like Man U, not Man City. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. I mean, I don't want to belabor this.
It is what it is.
People know how I feel. People know how I feel about it. We want to see it again. If someone can think of a better match, if you were coming up with a meet right now, with who's still healthy and who's available, what other race would you want to see? You could say Jacobs versus Bromell and Bracey, or I don't even know if Curly's like 100. I mean, he's not racing anymore.
It's true.
Yeah, but Whiteman is I think Whiteman versus Ingebrigtsen, I put above that. I think Dos Santos and Warholm is close. I can't really think of anything on the women. Again, I'm talking about a head-to-head. I'm not talking about, hey, let's see how much faster Shrieky Jackson can run in 200. That'd be awesome to see. But I'm talking about a head-to-head rematch of what we saw or almost saw in Eugene, right? Like we'd want to see Miller Wave over Sydney in a 400 flat, but we didn't see that in Eugene.
Yeah.
So I don't know of another race out there. All right. Speaking of Dos Santos, I was
fixing my desk.
Oh yeah, no problem. Dos Santos race was closer than I thought. He looked like he was on cruise control, and then Khalifa Rosser and Hapia were right there. Actually, CJ Allen was there. It looks like he got DQ'd. Allen crossed the line third. He was sub 48 and ran a PB, but has been disqualified. You see, if you look at the photo finish there, Allen's at the top of the screen. So there's not much here. This is why you need Warholm in the race. This is why you need Benjamin in the race. Dos Santos is still clicking off wins. Hasn't lost this year, and ran 47 mid. But that was the hurdles. Let's see. Women's high hurdles, another sub 12:37. I should have done double or nothing on my bet. Camacho Quinn looking pretty good here.
I wouldn't have taken that bet.
I want to see her versus. I guess her versus Amasan would be another rematch I'd want to see. But we've seen that. We saw that last week. She goes 12:27. Good run. Tia Jones has been doing great. Like look out for her next year at USA's. I think she can get on the team. Can you pull up the Diamond League standings for this one, Colt? So these are the 8 women that are qualified: Camacho Quinn, Amasan, Anderson, Charlton, Penny Harrison, Nia Ali, Tia Jones, and Danielle Williams. So this is important for the U.S. This is one of those races that is very important for the U.S. because they got 4 in because Nia Ali won in Doha. Put those names up again, Colt. I can't read that fast. I need to look at them again. So you have Harrison, Ali, and Jones there. If you're an American women's hurdler, you're cheering for one of those 3 to get across the line first, so you can get an extra berth next year for world champs.
Yeah, that ain't happening. I don't think any of them. I think the highest American finishes in that race is 3rd, right?
Yeah,
I don't think Camacho.
I'm saying that's what
I'm a son, or even Anderson. Like I would say 4th maybe will be the highest finish for an American in that race.
It's hurdles though. There's enough unpredictability.
Yeah, it is hurdles.
To bring it up. So just something to watch. Just giving people stuff.
I also want to hear you say the name of the person who's currently in 9th place.
Can you zoom in on that? Yeah, hold on, let me zoom my own screen. Oh, from Poland, Pia. Wow. Skorlazowska.
Hey, it's not bad.
SKRZ. Oh, now Colt's moving it around. Y S Z
SKRZ.
O
What?
Y YSZOWSKA. Yeah.
Skirozowska.
Skurzokwa. Yeah, that'll take me a couple times. I have Wolarczyk
Tongue
down.
twister.
Once I learned Wolarczyk, was on it every single time. Wolarczyk, Wolarczyk, Wolarczyk.
There you go.
I haven't said that one aloud yet, so that's my issue. All right,
Anything else? Kara Winger, American record, world
Carol
lead.
Winger.
I
Yeah,
mean,
big PB,
gets her first
almost
ever
5
medal and
feet,
then has a world freaking lead at the end of the year. It's like,
and then
talk
retires. She's
about
gonna retire. Just walk
timing
off.
it. Yeah.
It's perfect. A walk off throw right there. That's incredible. What a way to have a last season for Carol Winger. Her throw in Eugene was so dramatic. I'll remember that one because I was in the stadium for it, and it erupted. Obviously, her connections to that stadium are clear, and yeah, this was awesome. So she'll have a Diamond League final um, left to try to add another accolade to 2022. But 2022 has been great for Kara Winger. We got a couple more minutes left. If there's an event in the chat people want us to discuss, let us know. Okay, AJT said it's pronounced Sky Shah Skoska. Sky Shah Skovska. Okay, I'm
Thank
going
you.
to keep that pronunciation. Sky Shy Skovska. All right,
Hooked on phonics worked for me.
there you go. Yeah, anything else in the chat? Ben says
I
Jake is not doing any more track. Can you? Sorry, I have a question about YouTube because sometimes people ask questions that we've already answered. Can they just start it late and then there's like still commenting? Is that a thing?
that's
Well,
Yes.
you
probably
might
what
need to
they're
help me
doing.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're
Okay.
watching live, like people can be watching live at any part of the show, and their comments will come up to whatever
Gotcha.
you're currently on. So
That's the way the internet works. All right. All right. Just 'cause someone just said did they talk about the 5K? It was at the beginning. We got that. You can go back and find that one. Because sometimes people bring up stuff and I'm like, didn't we say that? Did I just say that in my head? Am I going crazy?
Maybe go
All in
crazy.
all, though, yeah, men's 5,000, exciting. Mondo, upset. Fraser Price, upset. Kevin, upset about Jake Whiteman. That's sort of your headlines. McGeehan, big PB. Winger, big PB. Dos Santos, chilling. Knighton, running into the wind.
You know what this weekend was also? Or started yesterday,
Was or
today, and
is?
tomorrow? Is or happening currently this weekend?
Okay.
First weekend of cross country. NCAA
Well,
cross
that'll do
country.
it, folks, for this week's No, go ahead.
Check
Go ahead.
out the preseason rankings. They're up on the site. I rank all 255 top athletes, men and women. So, debate. We're
And
going to start talking about that next week.
I achieved my goal of emailing 200 cross country coaches. And a
You
lot of
helped
them
me
got
out.
back to me. If you're listening, if you're a cross country coach and you got an email from me and you haven't written back, there's still time.
It's too late. No, it's too
No,
late.
we can adjust. We can adjust. Because I'm a completist. And I look at that spreadsheet and it's, what would you say, 75% filled in? About?
Yeah.
More
I
or
stopped
less?
looking at
It's
the
not.
spreadsheet like 2 days ago. So you don't need to update it anymore.
Dude, I just heard
The
back from
tab is
someone
removed
yesterday.
from my computer.
No,
Tab is removed from my computer.
I'm still going to do it. I might take all
Okay.
of 2022 to do this. It's just important to me. Dustin wants to know Gordon Dunk update.
So things are going well. I increased my box jump height to 43 inches, which is the highest box jump in the gym. So I can't go any higher.
They're jumping
I
out of the
did it
gym.
once. After doing 80 box jumps, I was like 81 was on the high one. And this old man came up to me and was like, "Sir, you shouldn't be doing this. You're going to bust your head open and fall."
Wait,
I was like,
what?
no, I'm gonna do this. You're not my dad. And then he's like, no, I don't want you doing this. This isn't safe. I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. So then I
No,
did it again.
I'm gonna dunk. I'm gonna dunk.
Wait,
I
wait,
did
wait,
it
wait,
again,
wait.
and I did it 10 times.
Wait, the guy worked. The guy worked
43
there, or he
inches.
was just a guy?
No, it's just an old man lifting weights. He was like trying
Why
to
do you
like
think you were
protect
going
me.
to hurt yourself?
Because
hit
it's a
your
high
head?
jump, and I like almost don't make it. Like I'm really close to the edge when I jump onto it. It's metal. I mean,
Does he
you
know
can
you
easily
have battle
fall.
scars?
Well, I do have a new battle scar from. So I did that 2 days ago, and then I did the 43 inches again today.
All right.
But I have a new battle scar. Check out this one. So I do 90 box jumps, and on the first one, which is like a lower height, I missed. And check this out.
All right. Those of you listening and not watching, Gordon is showing us his
See
leg
that
in a
line?
non. Okay, that's kind of awkward. We're gonna get a rating on this pod.
I don't know what it is, but it's like, and it's on the other leg too. I just like hit it right there on the edge. I
What did you
missed
hit?
on the first one. The box. The box is metal, which is probably not
How did
safe.
How did you hit your thigh on the box?
I don't know. I
That
think I
makes
was
no
just
sense.
like overly confident, and it was the short one, and
Okay.
I don't know what I was doing, and then I looked up and I was like, oh, that is not
Okay.
good.
Hold on a second. No disrespect to you. I'm very happy about your box jumps, but this is as if you're asking someone about their goal in the 100 and they talk about how great their starts have been, like their blocking. Like people want to know how close are you getting the rim? Are
So
you
I've only
dunking a
done one
golf
dunk
ball? Like what are
attempt.
you doing?
So I've only done
Come
one
on,
dunk
man.
attempt in January, but I've been lifting, I've been doing sit ups, I've been jumping higher on box jumps. I am becoming more of an athlete.
I get
So that's
that.
all that matters. It's just like as long as I just get stronger, more athletic, I'm six
Yeah.
foot three. If I'm an athlete and I'm 6'3",
I know, but you got to check
should be
your
able to jump.
progress. We want to see your progress.
Okay.
We don't
You know
want to
what?
hear
I should
about
do
your
okay.
This is basically guess my PR.
I'll do a second.
I did
I'll do a
90
second
box
jump.
jumps and an old man told me to stop. Do you think I can dunk? I'll hang up and listen.
I don't know, man. I just know that I would not have been able to jump on this box 4 months ago, but now I do it 10 times. Like I would not have been able to do it. Like I feel like I'm floating when I jump. I'm like, oh, whoa. I feel like
Wow.
there's a little bit of
Floating.
lift. Yeah.
Rarefied air. I like it.
And I'm like
All
30
right, we'll
pounds
see.
lighter. So like all that combined, yeah.
You've
Well,
lost
box
30
jumps-
pounds since the beginning of 2022?
Yeah.
Can you palm a basketball? That's the other part. Like you have to be able to go up with the ball to dunk, right?
Have you been working on your grip? Well, I think we negotiated
I
that
need-
down to he can do a mini ball. I think we decided, right?
No. I'll just
I
do
wasn't
2
part
hands.
of that negotiation. When did that
2
happen?
hands. I'll do 2 hands. If I can't get the grip, I'll do 2 hands. But I should
hands
practice.
is-
I don't have big hands, so that's something I can't improve.
You need to get in the weight room to like increase your grip.
Hand exercises?
Yeah, do one of those like those wrist rollers or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
The chat, someone says you drew a line on your leg. That's what the mark is.
No,
That was
I
Timmy.
didn't.
Anthony says, Gordon, please stop. I don't want to see any part of you besides your face talking to a mic. Dustin says, here's what really happened. Gordon tried to do the box jump, hit his legs, knocked himself out. An old man tried to help him. We shrugged off, and Gordon thinks he was able to clear it.
Not true.
Yeah.
I did it 10 times, and I did 10 times again today. So
We didn't talk about women's high jump, which we should have. We're talking about it now. Yaroslava Mahuchek, 205, equaled national record, equaled the meet record. That's
205.
world lead. Yeah, for her. She took a couple attempts at 210 as well, too. Eleanor Patterson of Australia way back at 194. Mahuchek was on her own for a while. She took one, cleared the first time at 197, missed once at 2, then put the bar up to, this is actually kind of a journey, then put the bar at 202, cleared it first time, 205 on her second time, and then 3 misses at 210. So pretty exciting run for her in the later part of that competition. And then what do we have? We have triple as well, too. I think we have men's triple going on. Yeah, it was that. Oh, Lazaro Martinez of Cuba, 1749. Zango second. Yeah, look at when I did the World Champs preview, just the depth of Cuban triple jump right now is ridiculous. Like they had guys on the team listed on the team, like not on the team. Excuse me, they had people not on the team who like were top 5 in the world. They weren't selected for whatever reason, or there was some other issue with them getting there. Um, so it doesn't surprise me that Martinez
Well,
got that win. And we got one
technically, he
diamond league
didn't
meet.
get the win, though. Technically, he didn't get the win.
Martinez didn't.
No, because look, he didn't compete in the 4th, 5th, and 6th jumps. So
You don't need to.
he no,
I mean,
look, the
why,
position 1 and 2. No, isn't the rules are it's whoever has the best jump after the top 3?
he's listed first. What are you looking at? He's
The
listed number 1.
position list. Look at that. Yeah, show that.
Oh, you got her. Okay, gotcha.
I don't know what that means, but anyway.
AJT says Cuba lacked triple jumpers at Worlds because they're all switching countries except for Martinez. Yeah, that's what I figured. He says Martinez
Yeah.
did get the win. They changed the rule, didn't they?
Oh, they changed the rule? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah,
I need to
they
be
got
better
rid
at my
of the
job.
best. Yeah, come on, man. See, sometimes it's just like you get me confused because you didn't do your research.
There's a lot going on.
Quote,
Man.
here's
There's
a
lot
quote.
going on in my
Colt,
head.
Colt found the flash quote button and it's just in his bag right now, folks. This is incredible. Pull up the Lazaro Martinez quote. Unfortunately, I felt some pain in muscle and it prevented me from doing the remaining attempts. Luckily, it was enough to secure the win here. Dude, we got one Diamond League left. Colt now knows where the flash quotes button are. He's going to be bringing up all sorts of great quotes.
It's all over for you guys. I've got it all figured out.
You're just going to interrupt mid-sentence and be like, no, that's not what happened. According to Lazaro Martinez himself, here's how he's quoted. Love it. Well done. All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Almost an hour on a recap pod. These are supposed to be 30 minutes.
I'll do a dunk in September.
Okay.
We lost Kevin. Like, subscribe.